Hi, Jackie Van Riller here, and in today's video, I'm going to tell you how you can fix hypothyroidism without medication. Now, it's going to be a little bit complicated. It's not an easy fix, as those of you with hypothyroidism know, but I'm going to tell you a lot of things that you probably are not getting from your doctor, and I'm going to show you some facial reflexology points that you can activate as well to help to speed up the healing in your body and to help your body get back to where you want it to be. Of course, I do have a face map that I'm going to post to my Instagram channel, and that's just @JackieVanRuller, so you can follow along with the points. Additionally, I do recommend that you go and do my lymphatic drainage protocol on top of this because hypothyroidism always affects your lymph, and oftentimes you're going to have a lot of puffiness, particularly in your face. You might have a lot of hardness in this area, which is the lymphatic area. You might find that you have some swelling and edema in your feet and legs or things like that, because those are oftentimes hypothyroidism will affect your lymphatic system. So we're going to start with our kidney points. Our kidney points are going to be on the forehead, following your fingers all the way up from the corners of your mouth to your hairline, and then coming down just a little bit. If you have a smaller forehead, your kidney points might be right at your hairline, and if you have a longer forehead, it's probably down a little bit. You might feel an area where your fingers kind of fit into. Those are going to be your kidney spots. We definitely want to work this left kidney spot quite a bit because the kidneys are going to be the organs that filter your blood. And when your kidneys are working well, they're going to filter your blood, and you're going to have plenty of hormones, vitamins, minerals, proteins, and things like that in your blood that your body needs to make hormones, to make bone, to make muscle, to enhance your metabolism, to strengthen your thyroid, all of those things. So the kidney points are really important. The one on the right, we don't want to do quite as much because it can heat up your body. Now, if you have hypothyroidism, you might want that, so you can do it a little bit more if you want to, but if you are experiencing hot flashes or things like that, particularly if you're going through menopause, be a little bit careful with that right kidney point. If you do trigger a hot flash, though, you can reverse it by working this point right here on the bottom of the nose. And this is also a spot, if you're having hot flashes, that you can just work that spot in general. That's just an extra tip that I'm adding to this. Then we're going to work some points for the brain. So right in here, oftentimes when you have hypothyroidism, you'll find that your brain doesn't work as well. You might become forgetful. You might feel like you have brain fog. And so this just helps to clear up your brain. As you move down a little bit more, we get to the third eye. The third eye is about being able to use your intuition. It's your connection to God. It's your pineal gland. Oftentimes, many of the things that we have in our water, like fluoride, or in vaccines, like heavy metals, they like gunk up your pineal gland, and then it's like you don't have that access to your intuition, or you don't have access to connecting with God as well as you would have. So you want to take those things out of your body as much as possible. Of course, many of us have been, taking those things forever and we don't realize it. But one thing I want to talk about with hypothyroidism is fluoride. Fluoride will replace iodine on the thyroid molecules, T4 and T3. And so if you are using fluoride in your toothpaste, if you have it in your drinking water or things like that, then you want to take Lugol's iodine. Lugol's iodine is a concoction that's made that has iodine in it, and it helps your body to replace iodine when you don't get it from the foods that you're eating. Most of the time, we are not getting enough iodine, and the reason for that is because we are no longer using animal manure to replenish our crops, and instead we're using NPK and different types of artificial fertilizers, as well as spraying glyphosate on many crops, and then we have an increase in fluoride in our water. We have bromide. So all of this fluoride, bromine, and chlorine are all halides, and iodine, of course, is in the halide group as well. And so when you're exposed to fluoride, chloride, and bromide is often in like the flame retardant stuff that you put on like car seats or cribs or chairs or just things that you have in your house that has flame retardants on it. That's going to contain bromide. It's also oftentimes found in bread. So you want to make sure that you're staying away from those things as much as possible. But you can take some Lugol's iodine to replace the iodine and to help your body to get rid of fluoride and bromide and chlorine, particularly if you're swimming in pools a lot. So look into that. If you have a lot of those things in your life, see how you can get them out. Change your toothpaste. Don't do mouthwashes with fluoride in it. Don't let your doctors, your dentist put fluoride in your mouth. When you go to see them, if you have fluoridated drinking water, you might consider buying drinking water or getting a reverse osmosis system to get it out of there, because it will affect your thyroid. Okay, coming down to right between your eyebrows, we have point 26. This is going to be the pituitary gland, which is the master gland of all of your endocrine functions. So it is going to be the master gland even of your thyroid. So this would be a great place to work on a regular basis. Then we're going to come right on the sides of the nose right here, and this is a thyroid area. You might notice that this area might be stuck or sticky or stagnant, but oftentimes with hypothyroid, you're actually going to feel it more at the other thyroid point, which is in front of the ears, and that's because this is a major area of lymphatic drainage. Oftentimes when you have thyroid issues, you're going to have issues with your lymphatic system, and so it can cause some puffiness and stuff right in here, areas that you have lymph nodes. Okay, then we're going to come to the bottom of the nose. We get some more kidney points. This is going to be a point specifically for the blood, enhancing the blood. When your kidneys are working well, it can recycle all the minerals in your body, and so if you don't have enough iodine, for instance, your kidneys, if you have healthy kidneys, it'll help to recycle it and be able to use it more. Now, every cell in your body uses iodine, so it's really important to have it. And if you are low in iodine, you're going to be more likely to have cancers or cysts, cystic breast. And in fact, our rates of breast cancer and thyroid cancer, ovarian cancer, and for men, prostate cancer have been increasing exponentially because we don't have enough iodine in our diets. So make sure that you're getting that iodine. You want to look up Lugol's, L-U-G-O-L, Lugol's iodine, and you can get the 2% or the 5%. The 5% you'll want to probably add a couple of drops a day, maybe even more, depending on how low your thyroid is. You can also work with a natural health practitioner to find out how much, or do what you call the sway test. So you can literally hold a bottle of Lugol's iodine in your hand and then just ask your body, how much of this do I want? And you can actually just ask your body, do I want this? And if you want it, your body should sway forward. And if it doesn't want it, you'll sway backwards. And then you can say, do I want 2 drops? Sway forward, 2 drops. Do I want 4 drops? You can keep going up until you find the amount that your body finally says no at. I'm finding that when I take it, I'm needing about 6 to 8 drops a day. And I've just started taking it over the last couple of years on and off, but I do find when I take it, I feel a lot better. And I do have some thyroid issues. Okay, then we're going to work on the sides of the nose for some more kidney points. Again, the kidneys are very highly associated with the thyroid, as well as the spleen and the liver, which we'll be getting to next. Next, we're going to go to the left side of the face, in line with the flare of the nose and directly underneath the iris of the eye. We have the spleen. The spleen is the largest lymph node of the body. And because hypothyroidism affects the lymph nodes so much, this is probably an area that's going to feel very tight or just very sticky. You can also work the stomach point, which is also very much associated with iodine. And if you don't have a good stomach working, you may not be able to get iodine from your food. And also one of the best things that you can do diet-wise for hypothyroidism is to eat a lot of meat, and your stomach processes meat. Meat is really good, particularly red meat, because it has nothing that your body can be allergic to. And so when you eat red meat, it's actually just pure nutrients for your body. Now, a lot of plant foods actually contain goitrogens, so they might deplete iodine from your body. So those are going to be things like the cruciferous vegetables, things like kale, broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts. Any of those things are goitrogens, and they can actually deplete iodine from your body. I used to love Brussels sprouts, and I kept every time I'd eat them, I wouldn't sleep for a couple of nights, and I'm like, what is going on? And I was like, but they're so healthy, I'm going to keep eating them. I'm sure it's, nothing. And then when I found out that they actually deplete iodine from your body, it began to make sense because I was having a lot of hypothyroidism issues at that time. Okay, on the right side of your face, we're going to work the liver and the gallbladder. So in line with the bottom of the nose and directly underneath the iris of the eye, we have the liver. You work this in a slightly upward manner. And then to work the gallbladder, you're going to work right beside it. Now the liver is important because it raises your energy and it distributes energy through your body. Hypothyroidism is a condition of low liver energy. So when we activate that liver, we're going to be helping to reverse that hypothyroidism. And then the gallbladder is really important because the gallbladder, it helps you to digest fats, and it gets the fat-soluble vitamins A, D, E, and K out of fat. But fat also is held together by iodine as well. So when you are digesting fatty foods, particularly animal-based fats, so things like butter, tallow, lard, duck fat, things like that, those things are going to have a lot of iodine in them. And so I would suggest that you eat plenty of those. It's also going to be very healing for your thyroid. Your thyroid loves a high animal fat diet, and some things that you absolutely need to avoid if you want to heal your thyroid are going to be like breads and glutens, those goitrogenic vegetables that I just talked about. A lot of vegetables and even fruits and things like that, seeds especially, are going to have compounds in it that are going to hurt your body. They're going to have plant toxins, and so the more you can take them out, and even doing a very strict carnivore or very strict ketogenic diet is going to be very helpful to helping you cure your hypothyroidism. Then we're going to go to some points for decreasing inflammation, and this is going to be 17 and 38. 17 is a point for the adrenal glands, which sit on top of your kidneys and release cortisol. So if you are in a constant state of fight or flight, or probably with hypothyroidism, you might actually have been to the point that your body just doesn't produce or isn't releasing cortisol anymore. And so then you just feel tired and exhausted all the time. So these are going to be good points for reducing the inflammation that comes along with it, as well as helping your adrenal glands to work appropriately. So you want plenty of cortisol in the morning when you wake up. That gives you energy, focus, motivation, makes you feel good, and then you want your cortisol to decrease through the day. When you have hyperthyroidism, oftentimes your body's just not releasing enough cortisol, and so you don't feel like you ever have energy, or you're releasing at inappropriate times of the day. So it might be in the evening, or even at night when you're trying to fall asleep, and then you just can't sleep and you have cortisol running through your body. Then we're going to work some points for, this is a point that's a diuretic point, so helping you get rid of extra fluid from your body. Point for the ureters, point 85. You can work that on both sides. And then coming on into your chin. So this is a fairly complicated protocol, but your thyroid is a very complicated organ. But it is perfectly reasonable to fix it yourself. And a lot of times the thyroid testing that you're going to get from your doctors are going to be very off, because you can have fake thyroid hormones, particularly if you do have that fluoride or bromide or chloride attached to the tyrosine. So a T4 is like tyrosine attached to 4 iodines, and a T3 is a tyrosine molecule attached to 3 iodines. But if those iodines are replaced with something else, you're going to get inappropriate, like it may look like your thyroid hormones are fine when they're not. And then finally, we're going to finish up by working point 14 right in front of the earlobes. This is going to be a spot that if you do have hypothyroidism issues, it might feel kind of stuck or stagnant. As you work it, it does release saliva, and so it might cause you to cough, particularly if you have a lot of tension here. If you do have a lot of tension here, you might want to work it just kind of slowly and then build up to it. So working this several times a day, but just doing it for short periods of time. And then you can finish up by circling all around the ears, which you'll get that again, making sure you come behind the earlobes, upwards, so down the front side. This is activating lymph through the face and the neck. Really important to do that on a regular basis. And then by circling the ears, you're also working the kidneys. Notice that the ears are shaped like the kidneys. Anything that's shaped like something else on your body is going to have that same energy. Circling the ears. And on the other side, working that kidney or the thyroid point right here in front of the ears, working it thoroughly but gently. If it feels stuck or stagnant there, it's probably because you have some lymph buildup. So fixing your thyroid it's fairly simple, but it's hard because it's the opposite of everything we've ever been told. So taking that Lugol's iodine, avoiding cruciferous vegetables because they deplete your body of iodine, avoiding bread products because they contain phytic acid, which can also deplete your body of minerals, eating lots of fat, which we've been told not to do. So fat, cholesterol is super healthy for your thyroid. A lot of animal-based fat. So eat your tallow, eat your ghee, eat your butter. You may have to avoid dairy products, but usually butter is okay unless you are super sensitive. But you might have to avoid cheeses and milk and things like that. Okay. And if you want more information, follow Dr. Elizabeth Bright. There's also Dr. Browen and Dr. Ken Berry have put out some videos on iodine and hypothyroidism, and you can follow some of these people for some more tips. And then again, do go to my video for the lymphatic drainage protocol because that will be super helpful as well. Good luck. This is something that you can do. Keep me updated on your progress in the comments, and I'll look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye.